show girls in miniskirts that are meant for prostitutes and whores. We dressing them up in no clothes almost at all and sending them out there in society. Like, come and get them. It's almost like we selling or soliciting our children off to the highest bidder. This is what we doing to our daughters. And don't forget about the young boys that some men think, hey, you got a girlfriend yet? How many girls you got? We already instilling in their heads to make you a man, you got to sleep with a lot of women, or you got to have a lot of women. This is what we are instilling. This is the miseducation that we are giving our children as weak, disrespectful, perverted men. This is what we're doing to our children. The lack thereof, or the education that we are failing to instill in them, we are misleading and misguiding them directly and indirectly because of what we are failing to do as men. I'm not free from this responsibility. I have sons that I have to teach what's right and what's wrong. No, you're too young to have a girlfriend. That's not important right now. Get your education. You got to have morals. You got to have principles. You got to pray. You got to have God in your life. I'm not free from teaching my children this. I'm on top of that every day. This is why I can't let my children go. Because if I shirk my responsibilities as a father, I'm part of the responsibility. I'm part of the problem, I should say. I'm part of the problem that's going on in society today. Them young fast sales girls wouldn't be able to do that. I'm going to take this call. Thank you for calling the Cheatologist show. You have a question?
Oh, this is Dr. Green, Harold Green.
Dr. Harold Green, how you doing? Thank you for calling in, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, what I'm speaking about is the HIV rate in Richmond, in Virginia alone. I haven't got to the statistics of all the places around Virginia that have it, but can you please give these people some information on what's going on with these high rates of HIV and STDs that are in our society?
Well, basically, the HIV has increased. It's increased in men and women. In the old days, when I first started, HIV was generally prominent among homosexual, gays, lesbians. Now it has gone into society in general. People are just not getting protection as they should. It was prevalent among addicts. A lot of that was due to them using the bad needles. The hepatitis C was prominent. Now, what could have protected them from getting the HIV using those bad needles was just simply using bleach. They were passing bleach out in a lot of the sites to the addicts so they could use bleach the needles. Also, in the old days, we would pass out condoms to prevent people from passing on the HIV virus. So basically, people are not protecting themselves as they used to. And in fact, a lot of people are not getting tested for HIV in the doctor's offices. I remember when I got married back in the day, everyone had to get a test for syphilis. The government and society, we don't do that anymore for some reason. I guess that's because they believe that the syphilis rate has decreased. But people are just not protecting themselves like they should. That's why, in my opinion, I believe that the HIV virus it's doing at this point. You just should simply go to your doctor's office and ask for an HIV test. But before that, you should have adequate protection if you are sexually active, as well as active using the needle. That's my opinion. That's what the facts have shown.
Wow.
Any further questions?
Yeah, let me. What I spoke about, I touched upon a real touchy issue tonight. I talked about when you had said that back in the days it was really high among the homosexuals and the gays and the lesbians and so on and so forth. And I spoke about the diseases that are being transferred because the men are sleeping with men, and at the same time they sleeping with women.
Yeah, well, actually, that community, they're protecting themselves a lot. It's the community where you have a man and a woman who are not protecting themselves. That community, the gay community, is well aware of what's going on, and they tend to protect themselves.
Wow!
It's in the high schools where people don't know that they getting infected. That we're not protecting ourselves. With simple protection will prevent a whole lot of this from going on.
Yes, and I see that the rate among the children, the teens, the 12, the 13, 14-year-olds, that the rate has increased.
Right, and that's correct. That's why in our schools and in our homes we should be teaching sex education. But it first starts in the home. You need to start in the home.
Yes.
The mothers, the fathers need to teach the kids.
Yes.
We should teach it homes, all outlets, because it's a devastating illness.
Yes.
It's not as it used to be because of new and improved treatments.
Okay.
But it can be devastating.
Yeah, that's why people are becoming more complacent because they have medications and they think, "Oh, I could take a pill and I'll be all right."
You're correct. That's correct. They can take a pill but that medicine is extremely expensive. It's wrought with a few side effects. So simply protect yourself and get tested.
Yes.
And get educated about the means of transport of the virus.
Oh man. Well, Dr. Grant, I know that you're very busy, and I really thank you for taking the time to call in and sharing this information.
Thank you for listening to me.
Yes, indeed.
But my take-home point is that people need to get educated, and they need to protect themselves, not only from the HIV, but we also have an epidemic of hepatitis C. So we need to protect ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
And just simply use a condom or bleach.
Bleach? Oh, bleach on the needles?
To clean your needles.
Oh.
I don't endorse injecting.
Yeah.
But if you're going to inject Clorox bleach, just bleach the needle.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you. And our viewers, they thank you too, I'm sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bless you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Wow. So now we had a professional doctor call in to confirm the facts that I just shared with you. Now, this doctor right now is not watching the show, but he called in to share the same facts that I shared with you a minute ago. Many of us men are sleeping with women that are sleeping with other men. That means these young girls who said they single, they free, We can do what we want to do. We can play, baby. And they dealing with more than one man. And you're going inside the same woman the same woman that man is dealing with, you're dealing with right behind him. Think about the women also who are in relationships or who are married and who's out there cheating. Because some women think, well, he's cheating on me, I'm going to cheat on him. And if that man is cheating, 9 times out of 10, he may still be sleeping with his wife, besides the other women that he's sleeping with. So see how that's passed down. He's sleeping with these other women, and then he come home and do the same thing with his wife. His wife get wait a minute, you're cheating? I don't want to have intercourse with you no more. She back up, she stop. But she step out and start sleeping with you. Or you. Or you. See where I'm going with this? See how whatever that man have and gave to his wife now is giving it to you. Not saying that everybody is affected with this. But you see where I'm going. You see what happens. Okay, we men don't ask women questions. We just, she look good, she smell good, I'm in. Just like that. We don't ask questions, I'm not saying all men, but a lot of us don't say when we about to get in, I'm gonna use the condom or ask the woman, do you normally use condoms? We don't ask this question. We don't ask the question, do you have any diseases? Because we're afraid, what? I don't got no diseases. That she go now, you know what, I don't even want to do nothing. So we don't ask these questions. Or we don't ask these questions when we in conversations with the women. Or we want to know, you know the number one question we ask women, some of us disrespectful, lewd men, what's the first question you think? Just think about it. Now I'm about to tell you what position you like the best. That's the number one question we ask women that we trying to get with. You like doggy style? Okay. But we don't ask them, do you have diseases? Or have you ever had any diseases? Or any man that you ever dealt with, did he have a disease? How long ago? Do you have a disease now? Do you have HIV? Do you have HPV? Because a lot of us didn't even know what HPV was. All we think about is HIV. But we don't think about how we orally satisfy women who sometimes have yeast infection. They have some things going on down there that we don't ask questions about, because the first thing we want to do, I'm going to freak you, baby. I'm going to come in. I'm going to freak you tonight. But she's so, should I say desperate, or she may say, oh, I'm in the mood, that she don't tell you she got a yeast infection or she has some other problem going down in the vagina, or she don't tell you that she got bumps down there or bumps inside. Because you know why? Baby, turn the lights off. We don't look at it. We don't examine it. We just, or we smash it or we kiss it or whatever we do, not knowing that we're about to catch something. We don't ask the girl, do you use drugs? Have you ever used drugs? Have you ever used needles? Because you heard what the doctor said, how serious that is. We ask them, and then we have become so animal, I don't even think animals do that. We have become worse than animals. We tell a woman, you like anal? Excuse me. I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. I am being serious about an epidemic